Welcome back, everyone. Well, many of you have been looking for legal advice after Hurricane Harvey, wondering what your rights are from employment to flooded cars. And joining us this morning, our KHOU 11 legal analyst Gerald Treece. Good morning, Gerald. How are you?
Good morning, Ron, and congrats for getting through the storm. You guys are a bunch of real warriors.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough, but many people have been through much worse
Indeed,
the past couple of
indeed
weeks.
they have.
Yes.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay, let's go to our questions. The first one from Katie. When the Army Corps of Engineers mandated the release of water from the Addicks and Barker reservoirs, should they be responsible for the property damage?
I think I've probably been asked this question more than anyone. You know, most people are used to the doctrine called acts of God. When a storm comes, a hurricane, a tornado, an earthquake. But most people are saying this wasn't an act of God. This was an act of a human being by doing these controlled releases from these reservoirs. I think the answer has several parts. I can't give you a clear black and white answer, but I will tell you there's plenty of lawyers out there signing up cases to pursue the Army Corps of Engineers. And there's some people saying, hey, look, there's an inverse condemnation theory against the city. Here's what I say. Take a deep breath. I'm sure the lawyers are all in good faith who are saying this, but I think the law is not as clear as some people think it is. I think it's a possible claim, but don't sign up, I suggest, that unless these lawyers can show you some authority to sue the Army Corps of Engineers. That's number one.
Yeah.
Army Corps of Engineers is a federal agency. It's pretty hard to sue them, especially doing an official act. Also, here's my big warning for the morning. If Ron, you come to me and say, Treece, will you represent me? If they agree to do it on a contingency fee, you're not.
You got nothing to lose. Yeah.
But be careful about any of your real money going after this. And you know, you got plenty of time and people are trying to get a class action. I'm not as big a fan of this as some people. I think I see theories against entities other than the federal government, but I say the federal government against the question here, the Army Corps of Engineers, it's going to be a hard takings case under the Fifth Amendment.
Okay. Our next question now from the Woodlands. I'm not certain which charitable organizations established for storm relief are legitimate. Is there a way to be certain?
You know, I wish I knew the answer. There, you know, you've had folks from the Better Business Bureau on talking about some things to look for. You've also got an entity called charitynavigator.org, charitynavigator.org, that helps you look at issues like how much of the money goes to administrative costs, like salaries, and how much goes to the actual person. I think the best rules have always been go with the standbys, the ones that have been there in business for a long time. And from my point of view, you go with also your institutions of faith, your synagogue, your church, because you know those people, and you can. The more control you have over your donation, the better.
Good advice. Now to South Houston. My landlord insists that I pay rent for my apartment, but the place is flooded. Do I have to pay? Second
most asked question. Technically, under most rental agreements, the answer is yes. That's the bad news. The good news, in Texas, that landlord owes you a duty of a livable premises. And so while you may be required to pay the rent, you turn around and look at the landlord and say, that's fine, where's my livable premises?
Yeah, okay. Our final question from Memorial. My insurance company is not responding to my calls about my claims. Should I hire a lawyer?
Not yet. What you want to do is be bloody, bold, and resolute with your claim, but then go to the website for the Texas Department of Insurance. It's a very good website, and they have a consumer help hotline. And the Department of Insurance in Austin is the one that grades the papers of your insurance company. You know, don't be discouraged if an insurance company turns you down. That's sort of what they do. You turn around and just say, I'm going to follow up on this. And the website, again, Texas Department of Insurance, look for the phone number for the consumer helpline.
Be persistent. Okay, we're out of time, Gerald.
Always, and always go Astros.
All right, thank you so much. All right, and it's time to check in with Blake. He's watching Irma, and there's where you go if you have any questions for Gerald Treece. Okay?
I used to look like that.
You used to look like that.